Conrad stood at the altar, his heart pounding like a war drum, as the priest's words echoed through the ornate church in downtown Chicago. The bride, Emily, his childhood friend turned fiancée, looked at him with expectant eyes, unaware of the storm brewing inside him. In that frozen moment, Conrad's voice shattered the sacred silence. "I can't do this, Emily. I'm in love with Ben." The gasps rippled through the congregation like a tidal wave, his conservative parents' faces draining of color as whispers turned to murmurs of disbelief. Emily's bouquet slipped from her hands, petals scattering like broken promises on the marble floor. Conrad's father, a stern Midwest banker who'd built his life on appearances, rose slowly, his eyes burning with a mix of fury and heartbreak, while his mother clutched her pearls, tears streaming down her face. But Conrad couldn't stop now. He'd hidden his truth for too long, buried under layers of family expectations and societal norms. Ben, his secret love of 2 years, sat in the back row, disguised as a distant cousin, his knuckles white from gripping the pew. Their eyes met across the sea of shocked faces, a silent promise amid the chaos. As the church doors burst open with fleeing guests, Conrad knew this confession was just the beginning of a battle that would test every bond he held dear. In the aftermath, Conrad fled to the church vestibule, his tuxedo feeling like a straitjacket. Emily followed, her white gown trailing like a ghost. "How long, Conrad? How long have you been lying to me?" Her voice cracked, not with anger, but with the raw pain of betrayal. He couldn't meet her gaze. "Since college, but I thought I could change. For you, for my family." It was a lie he'd told himself 1,000 times, but saying it aloud made it crumble. Ben appeared then, his presence a beacon in the storm. Tall, with tousled dark hair and eyes that held the depth of the Great Lakes. He'd been Conrad's roommate at Northwestern, where stolen glances had turned into midnight confessions. "We need to go," Ben urged softly, his hand brushing Conrad's arm, a touch that sent sparks through the tension. But Emily's brother, Mark, stormed in, fists clenched. "You disgust me. Get out before I make you." The threat hung heavy, a preview of the confrontations to come. That night, Conrad crashed at Ben's small apartment in Wrigleyville, the city lights flickering through the window like judgmental eyes. They sat on the worn couch, Ben's arm around Conrad's shoulders. "You did it. You're free now," Ben whispered, but Conrad shook his head. "Free? My parents will disown me. Emily's family is like my own. They'll never forgive this." The weight of his decision pressed down, a moral quandary he'd wrestled with for months. Was love worth the destruction of everything else? The next morning, Conrad's phone buzzed incessantly. Voicemails from his father. "You've shamed us, son. Don't come home." His mother. "How could you do this to Emily? To us?" He listened in silence, each word a dagger. Ben brewed coffee, trying to lighten the mood. "Remember our first date? Sneaking into that Cubs game, pretending we were just buddies." Conrad managed a weak smile. Those memories were lifelines now, but the reality was stark. He had a job at his father's firm. Would that vanish too? Emily texted, "We need to talk. Alone." Conrad agreed, meeting her at a quiet cafe near Lincoln Park. She looked exhausted, her eyes red-rimmed. "I always suspected something, but I thought it was nerves." Conrad apologized profusely, explaining how societal pressure had pushed him into the engagement. "My parents wanted the perfect life. Wife, kids, the American dream." Emily nodded, her pain evident. "And Ben? Is he worth it?" Conrad's heart swelled. "He's everything." But as they parted, Emily warned, "Your dad's not just angry. He's talking about cutting you off completely." The words echoed Conrad's deepest fears. Back home, Ben's home now, Conrad paced. "What if I made a mistake? What if I could have kept it hidden?" Ben pulled him close. "Hiding was killing you. Us." Their kiss was tender, a reaffirmation amid doubt. Yet, Conrad couldn't shake the guilt. He'd hurt innocent people for his happiness. Was that selfish or brave? Days blurred into a haze of avoidance. Conrad ignored calls from work, knowing his father's influence there. Ben, a graphic designer, offered support. We'll figure it out. Together. But tension simmered. One evening, Conrad snapped, "You don't get it. Your family's accepting. Mine's from a different era." Ben's parents, liberal artists in San Francisco, had embraced his coming out years ago. The disparity fueled arguments, highlighting the chasm between their worlds. A knock at the door interrupted their spat. It was Conrad's sister, Lisa, the only family member who'd texted support. "Mom's a mess. Dad's furious, but I love you no matter what." She hugged him tightly. Over pizza, she shared the family fallout. Relatives gossiping, church friends distancing themselves. Dad's saying you'll regret this when you're alone. Conrad's resolve wavered. Lisa eyed Ben warmly. "He's good for you, bro, fight for this." Inspired, Conrad decided to confront his parents. He drove to their suburban home in Oak Park, the house where he'd grown up hiding comic books with gay heroes. His father answered, face like stone. "What do you want?" Inside, the living room felt colder. His mother sat silently, avoiding eye contact. "I didn't choose this," Conrad began. "But I can't live a lie." His father exploded. "You chose to humiliate us. At a wedding." The argument escalated, dredging up old wounds. Conrad's effeminate childhood interests, suppressed by sports and stern lectures. Ben waited in the car, hearing raised voices. When Conrad emerged, defeated, Ben comforted him. "They'll come around." But Conrad doubted it. That night, dreams plagued him. Emily alone at the altar, his parents turning away. Waking in Ben's arms, he whispered, "I love you, but this hurts everyone." Ben's response, "Love always does at first." Their bond deepened, but the societal backlash loomed larger. Rumors spread at work. Colleagues whispered, clients pulled accounts. Conrad's boss, loyal to his father, suggested a leave of absence. Jobless now, Conrad felt the sting of consequence. Ben encouraged freelancing, but doubt crept in. "Maybe I should apologize. Pretend it was a mistake." Ben's face hardened. "And what? Go back to hiding?" The conflict tore at them, a test of commitment. Emily called unexpectedly. "I'm not angry anymore. I want you to be happy." Her forgiveness lifted a weight, but she added, "Your dad's rallying the family against you. Be careful." Conrad hung up, resolved. He and Ben attended their first Pride event in Boys Town, hand in hand. The vibrant crowd was liberating, but a familiar face, Mark, spat slurs from afar. The encounter shook Conrad, reminding him of the world's cruelty. Back home, they discussed future plans. Marriage? Kids? Ben dreamed aloud. Conrad hesitated, haunted by his upbringing. "My parents would never accept that." The conversation turned heated, exposing fears. Ben accused Conrad of lingering shame. Conrad countered with realism. In the end, they reconciled, but cracks formed. A family intervention blindsided Conrad. Lisa lured him to a neutral spot, a park bench overlooking Lake Michigan. There, his parents waited with a pastor. "We can help you change," his father said. The words ignited fury. "Change? This is who I am." He stormed off, but his mother's plea followed. "We love you, but this lifestyle." The rejection cut deep. Ben met him later, anger mirroring Conrad's. "They're wrong." Together, they vowed to build their own life. But as weeks passed, financial strain mounted. Conrad took odd jobs, pride swallowing. Ben's support waned under pressure. "I can't carry us both forever." Doubt seeded betrayal thoughts. Would one crack? One night, after a fight, Conrad wandered the city streets, questioning everything. A chance encounter with an old friend, now openly gay and thriving, inspired him. The pain fades, the freedom lasts. Returning home, Conrad found Ben packing. "I thought you were leaving me." Ben laughed through tears. "Never. Just organizing our future." Their embrace sealed a turning point. Conrad applied for jobs unconnected to his past, embracing his identity. But society pushed back. A denied apartment application due to lifestyle concerns. Discrimination fueled resolve. Emily's wedding to someone else invited Conrad as a friend. Attending was a bold choice, facing judgmental eyes. His parents were there, ignoring him. Ben by his side, Conrad felt empowered. A quiet toast with Emily. To true love. It was closure. Yet home tensions escalated. His father suffered a minor heart attack. Stress-related, the doctor said. Guilt consumed Conrad. Is this my fault? Visiting the hospital, he faced accusation. Your choices did this. The moral dilemma peaked. Sacrifice self for family peace? Ben urged boundaries. You can't fix their bigotry. But Conrad wavered, considering compromise. A secret meeting with his mother revealed her internal struggle. I miss my son. Tears flowed, a crack in the armor. Reconciliation seemed possible, but at what cost? Conrad proposed therapy. His parents refused. God doesn't make mistakes, but choices do. The impasse hurt. In a bold move, Conrad wrote an op-ed for a local paper, sharing his story. It went viral, drawing support and hate. Ben worried for safety, but Conrad felt alive. This is my truth. Backlash included threats, forcing them to move. In a smaller town, they rebuilt. Ben proposed under starry skies. Marry me? Conrad said yes, but family absence loomed. The wedding was intimate, friends filling gaps. Emily attended, a symbol of forgiveness. As vows exchanged, Conrad reflected on the journey. Betrayals, losses, awakenings. His parents sent a card. We disagree, but we love you. A tentative bridge. Years later, adopting a child, Conrad faced new prejudices. But strength grew from trials. Was coming out worth the shattered lives? Or was silence the kinder path? The adoption process was a battlefield of its own, with agencies probing every aspect of Conrad and Ben's life in their new home in suburban Minneapolis. Stable relationship? Check. Financial security? Barely after the job losses. Conrad muttered as they filled out forms. Ben squeezed his hand. We've come this far. A kid will complete us. But doubts lingered. Conrad's past haunted him, his father's words echoing. This lifestyle isn't for raising children. Society's gaze felt heavier now, with neighbors whispering about those two dads. One evening, a rock shattered their window. A note attached. Fags don't belong here. Ben called the police, but Conrad froze, memories of the wedding chaos resurfacing. The incident sparked arguments. We should move back to the city, Ben insisted. Conrad resisted. Running won't solve anything. Their therapist, recommended by Emily, helped navigate. Your traumas differ. Conrad from rejection. Ben from fear of loss. Sessions unearthed buried resentments. Conrad's occasional envy of Ben's easy coming out. Ben's frustration with Conrad's lingering family ties. A call from Lisa brought mixed news. Dad's softening. Mom wants to meet. Conrad's heart raced. Driving to Chicago, Ben stayed behind, giving space. At the family home, tension thickened the air. His mother hugged him tentatively. We've been praying. His father nodded stiffly. The op-ed. It made us think. But conditions attached. No Ben here yet. Conrad bristled. He's my husband. The word hung, a challenge. Debate ensued, scripture versus love. God's plan is man and woman, his father argued. Conrad countered with stories of happy gay families. Leaving, he felt progress, but at a price, compromising his full self. Sharing with Ben, hurt flashed. They want you, not us. Conrad defended. It's a start. The rift widened, Ben feeling sidelined. That night, Ben confessed. Sometimes I wonder if you choose them over me. Conrad reassured, but seeds of doubt sprouted. The adoption hit a snag. A conservative caseworker questioned their moral fitness. Hearings dragged, testimonies from friends bolstering their case. Emily spoke. Conrad is the most loving person I know. It swayed opinions, but stress mounted. Ben snapped during prep. This is because of your family's shadow. Reconciliation attempts faltered. A family dinner invite excluded Ben. Conrad declined, standing firm. All or nothing. His parents relented partially, agreeing to meet Ben neutrally. At a restaurant, awkwardness reigned. Ben charmed, sharing art stories. His mother warmed. Father remained guarded. "How do you plan to raise a child without a mother?" Ben replied calmly. "With love from two parents." Post-dinner, Conrad exhaled. Baby steps. But Ben fumed privately. "They tolerate me." The strain led to a blow-up. "I'm tired of being second." Ben stormed out. Conrad chased, apologizing. In the rain-soaked street, they reconciled, vowing unity. The agency approved them for a baby boy, Ethan. Joy overwhelmed, but reality bit. Sleepless nights, judgments at playgrounds. A parent complained to school about influences. Conrad confronted her. Love is love. It empowered him but exhausted Ben. Lisa visited with gifts, bridging families. Dad asks about Ethan. Hope flickered, but a health scare, Ethan's fever, tested them. Rushing to ER, Conrad called his mother instinctively. She came, holding her grandson. Tears. "He's beautiful." His father followed days later, gruff but present. Yet, societal pressures persisted. Ben's job transferred him, forcing a move to Seattle. Uprooting challenged bonds. In the new city, they thrived in a progressive bubble, but Conrad missed roots. A surprise, his parents flew in for Ethan's birthday. Awkward hugs evolved to stories shared. Ben watched warily. "Don't get hurt." Conrad nodded, but optimism grew. Over cake, his father admitted, "I was wrong. Fear blinded me." Apology accepted, healing began. But not without cost. Old friends distanced. New ones formed. Conrad reflected on choices. Coming out destroyed, then rebuilt stronger. Ethan's first word, "Dada," to both. Laughter filled the home. Challenges continued. School bullies targeting Ethan's two dads. Conrad and Ben advocated, teaching resilience. "Be proud," Conrad said, echoing his journey. A family reunion invited them fully. Attending was triumphant, but whispers lingered. His aunt pulled him aside. "You've changed everything." Conrad smiled. "For the better." Ben and Conrad renewed vows privately, affirming commitment. "Through it all," Ben said. Yet, Conrad pondered. Had his initial confession been selfish, appending lives? Years passed, and Ethan grew into a curious 8-year-old. His laughter echoing through their Seattle home with its view of Puget Sound. Conrad, now a successful freelance writer specializing in LGBTQ+ stories, balanced work with parenting. Ben's design firm flourished, but long hours strained their time together. "We need a vacation," Ben suggested one evening, as Ethan built forts in the living room. The idea sparked excitement, but reality intruded. Conrad's parents, now retired in Florida, invited them for summer. "Grandpa wants to teach Ethan fishing." Acceptance had grown, but scars remained. Ben hesitated. "Last time, your dad made that joke about real men." Conrad sighed. "He's trying." The decision weighed. Expose Ethan to potential bias or deny family connection. They went, packing cautiously. In the humid Florida air, his parents' condo felt welcoming. His mother doted on Ethan. Father gruffly showed him seashells. Ben engaged politely, but tension simmered. During a boat trip, his father asked Conrad privately, "Happy now?" Conrad nodded. More than ever. But the subtext, was it worth the pain? Ethan's innocent question surfaced. "Why do I have two dads?" Conrad explained gently, but overheard his father's murmur to his mother. "Confusing the boy." Ben confronted. "If you can't accept us fully, we're gone." Apologies followed, but trust frayed. Back home, the trip's fallout lingered. Ethan asked more, prompting school discussions. A teacher pulled them aside. Some parents are concerned. Advocacy became routine, draining energy. Ben withdrew, burying in work. "I feel like I'm fighting your battles," he admitted. Therapy resurfaced. Resentment builds from unhealed wounds, the counselor said. Conrad confessed guilt. My coming out started this chain. Ben softened. But it freed us. Reconciliation sexless but emotional, reaffirming love. A professional opportunity arose. Conrad's book deal on his story. Shadows of Silence, echoing the op-ed. Excitement mixed with fear, reliving trauma. Ben supported. Your voice matters. Writing unearthed memories. The altar, rejections, triumphs. Publication brought acclaim and backlash. Interviews delved deep. Did you regret hurting Emily? Conrad. Regret the pain, not the truth. Hate mail arrived, echoing the rock incident. Security concerns mounted. Ethan sensed fear. Ben proposed safeguards. Alarm system, therapy for him. But strain peaked when an ex-colleague from Conrad's old firm contacted. Your dad's proud quietly. Mixed emotions surged. A book tour separated them. In New York, Conrad met Emily, now married with kids. Your story inspired me to live authentically. Closure deepened. Alone in hotels, Conrad questioned. Was fame worth family risk? Calls home grounded him. Ben, we're strong. Tour's end brought reunion, but Ben's confession. I had doubts. A colleague flirted. Honesty stung, but no betrayal. We choose each other daily, Conrad said. Ethan's school project, family tree, including grandparents bridged gaps. A video call, his father teared up. Proud of you, son. Yet society evolved slowly. A local law threatened LGBTQ+ rights. They protested. Ethan joined, holding a sign, Love Wins. Conrad's book hit bestseller. Proceeds funded charities. Impact rippled. But personal costs. Ben's burnout led to sabbatical. Need time for us. They traveled, reconnecting. In a quiet moment, Conrad asked, Worth it? Ben, every scar. As Ethan entered his teens, the family dynamic shifted again, with adolescence bringing new storms to their Seattle haven. At 13, Ethan rebelled mildly, skipping classes, questioning authority. Why do we have to hide who we are? He snapped after a bullying incident. Conrad and Ben exchanged worried glances. The world's cruelty was seeping in. Parent-teacher conferences revealed more. Ethan's distracted, mentions family stress. Conrad blamed himself. My past haunts him. Ben disagreed. It's society's issue. They enrolled Ethan in a progressive school, but the move uprooted friendships. Conrad's career soared. A TED Talk on identity went viral. Coming out isn't a moment. It's a lifetime. Applause thundered, but online trolls attacked, ruining kids. Ben shielded Ethan, but words wounded. Family visits increased. His parents, now in their 70s, sought redemption. We were wrong, his father admitted during a holiday. Ethan bonded with them, fishing tales bridging generations. Ben warmed slowly, but a health crisis struck. Ben's diagnosis, early-stage cancer. World crumbled. How? Conrad whispered in the doctor's office. Treatment loomed. Chemo, uncertainty. Ethan cried, Don't leave us. Roles reversed. Conrad became caregiver, balancing work. I can't lose you, he told Ben during sleepless nights. Ben's vulnerability exposed. Regret not coming out sooner? No, but the stress. Maybe contributed. Guilt resurfaced. Conrad's mother flew in, helping with meals. Let me make amends. His father followed, awkward but supportive. United in crisis, barriers fell. Treatment progressed. Ben weakened but spirited. Ethan matured, helping. I'm proud of my dads. Remission brought relief, but changed perspectives. Ben quit his job, starting a nonprofit for LGBTQ+ youth. Conrad joined, their story fueling impact. Ethan came out as bi tentatively. Like you. Support flowed, but fears echoed Conrad's past. A family gathering celebrated remission. Toasts to love, forgiveness. Yet, Conrad pondered. Did his choices burden his loved ones unfairly? With Ethan now 18, heading to college at UCLA, the empty nest hit Conrad and Ben hard in their quiet Seattle home. "Our boy's grown," Ben said, voice thick. Conrad nodded, reflecting on the whirlwind. Ethan's departure prompted introspection. "Did we do right by him?" Conrad asked. Ben, "He thrives because of us." Conrad's second book explored fatherhood in gay families. Research uncovered stories mirroring theirs: rejection, resilience. A reunion with Emily in LA, where Ethan settled. "Your influence shaped him," she said. Back home, Ben proposed renewal. Another chapter. They traveled to Europe, rediscovering passion. But age brought challenges. Conrad's arthritis, Ben's checkups. His parents' passing, first mother, then father, brought closure. At funerals, Conrad eulogized, "They learned love transcends." Inheritance included a letter. "Proud of the man you became." Ethan's graduation. Proud parents cheered. He announced, "Engaged to a guy." Joy mixed with echoes of past fears. As grandparents now, the cycle continued. Conrad looked back. Confessions, betrayals, awakenings. In their twilight years, Conrad and Ben retired to a cozy cabin in the Pacific Northwest, surrounded by evergreens and memories. Ethan visited with his husband and their adopted daughter, Lila, filling the space with youthful energy. "Grandpa Conrad, tell the story again," Lila begged. Conrad obliged, voice steady. "It started at an altar, with a truth that shattered everything." Ben interjected, "And built something better." Reflecting privately, Conrad wrote journals. The costs, lost jobs, fractured bonds versus gains. Authentic life, family forged in fire. Society had shifted. Pride parades normalized. Laws protected. But personal battles lingered. At a community event, Conrad spoke. "Love demands sacrifice. Was mine justified?" Ben held his hand. "Yes." As sunset, Conrad whispered, "No regrets." But the question remained. In pursuing personal truth, did Conrad's actions ultimately cause more harm than good? Or was the greater wrong in staying silent?